Hello, good morning to all. I am Khaja Asifullah, lecturer in chemistry from the Government Degree College, Palaknuma, Hyderabad. Today, I present a video lesson on chemical kinetics, part 6. Actually, it is the 6th lesson in the series of chemical kinetics. Today, we will discuss about the effect of temperature on the reaction rate. Earlier in previous classes, we discussed about different things like rate of reaction, molecularity of reaction, order of reaction, and also we deduce different equation for rate constant of different order like zero order reaction, first order reaction, second order reaction, and third order reaction. We also discuss about the units of different rate constants rate constant of different reactions like zero orders, etc., and how to evaluate K, etc. Today, we will first discuss about the effect of temperature on the rate of reaction. We know that the rate of reaction is nothing but the change in the concentration of the reactants or the products with change in time. Generally, we take the reactants and the concentration is generally expressed in molar concentration. So we can say the rate of reaction is nothing but the change in molar concentration of reactant and product with time. Now, we know the temperature of reaction is very important. And why it is important? Because we know that when we take the reactants, means molecules of reactants, they have bonds between the atoms present in that molecule. For example, if we take CH4, in CH4 molecule, we have 4 bonds around the carbon atom, means carbon is bonded to 4 hydrogen atoms. If it is going to react with chlorine, again chlorine will have a bond between 2 atoms of chlorine. When these molecules are to react, first we know that the old bonds have to be broken, means the bonds between hydrogen and carbon and 2 Cl atoms are to be broken, then only new bonds between carbon and chlorine can form. Now, to break the bond, we need energy, which is generally called as bond dissociation energy. This energy, the molecule will get from the surrounding. Otherwise, the bond will not break and the reaction will not take place, or it will be very slow. So, when the molecules of the reactants are getting energy from the surrounding, we have to supply the heat or energy in the form of heat to the surrounding so that molecules can absorb energy from the surrounding. That means we have to increase temperature. Then What effect the temperature will have on the rate of reaction, means how fast the reaction will be or how slow. Generally, the reaction will become fast when we supply energy in the form of heat. And we know the temperature is nothing but the measure of heat or energy. The other meaning is when temperature of the reactants or surrounding in which the reactants are present is increased, naturally the rate of reaction increases. As we know that energy will be utilized to break the old bonds, and when the new bonds are formed, that will evolve some energy, but it will be in second stage, because in first stage the bonds or old bonds have to be broken. So we need to supply the energy. Hence, in the beginning, we have to supply the energy, so that as temperature increases, the rate of reaction increases. Generally, the rate of reaction will double for every 10-degree rise in temperature. Rate of reaction generally doubles, or sometimes in some cases triples for every 10-degree rise in temperature. Means if we raise the temperature by 10 degree, there is a chance that the reaction is doubled, and in few cases 3 times it will be. Now we will discuss in the next topic is temperature coefficient. The temperature coefficient is nothing but the ratio of the velocity constants, that are the rate constant K, of a reaction at two different temperatures which are separated by 10 degrees. Means if we take 5 degrees, then 15 degrees, or 10 degrees to 20 degrees, like that, and it is known as temperature coefficient. So the temperature coefficient is nothing but the ratio of the velocity constants or rate constants of a reaction at two temperatures which are separated by 10 degrees centigrade. The temperature coefficient, to find the temperature coefficient, the temperature usually selected for this purpose is 25 degrees centigrade and 35 degrees centigrade, and the difference is again 10 degrees centigrade. So the ratio of K for 35 degrees and K for 25 degrees centigrade will give you the temperature coefficient. So mathematically, the temperature coefficient will be equal to velocity constant at 35 degrees centigrade divided by velocity constant at 25 degrees centigrade. Our temperature coefficient will be equal to rate constant at 35 degrees centigrade divided by rate constant at 25 degrees centigrade. Generally, it is represented by K. Therefore, K 35 degrees centigrade by K 25 degrees centigrade will give you the temperature coefficient. Therefore, it is a ratio of velocity constant or rate constant at two different temperatures which are separated by 10 degrees centigrade. The difference between these two is of 10 degrees centigrade. In most of the reactions, the temperature coefficient is 2. That means for most of the reactions, when the temperature is increased by 10 degrees centigrade, the rate of reaction will become twice or 2 times it will increase, or it will be doubled. And in some cases, it approaches even 3, or means it will become triple. For example, the temperature coefficient for the dissociation of HI is 1.2. Means in a reaction in which hydrogen iodide decomposes or dissociates into hydrogen and iodine. Hydrogen iodide, it is converted into its constituent elements, hydrogen and iodine, and the rate of reaction is 1.8 times greater. If we increase 10 degrees centigrade temperature by 10 degrees centigrade, the rate will be 1.8 times, or it is nearly 2 times, or it is double. And for the reaction between methyl iodide and sodium ethoxide, it is near about 3 times, that is 2.9. Greater the difference in temperature, greater will be the difference in the rate of reaction. Means what we have to select the values of two different temperature. If the difference is more, then the change or the change in rate or increase in rate will be much more. For example, here increase in rate of reaction observed when 160 degrees centigrade in temperature is during the decomposition of acetaldehyde increases rate of reaction by 453 times. Means if the temperature is increased by 160 degrees centigrade during the decomposition of acetaldehyde, the rate of reaction increases about 450 times. Similarly, rate of decomposition of acetone dicarboxylic acid goes up by 220 folds for a rise in temperature by 60 degrees centigrade. However, in some reversible reactions, the reaction rate decreases with rise in temperature. For reversible reaction, the reaction rate decreases with rise in temperature in some cases. This is so because in such cases, the rate of backward reaction increases more, because in such cases, rate of backward reaction increases. As a result, rate of forward reaction decreases rapidly with the rise in temperature than the rate of subsequent forward reaction. In few cases, rate of backward reaction increases rapidly than increase in rate of forward reaction. Now, increase in reaction rate with the increase in temperature is explained on the basis of collision theory. You know that when the reactant molecules react with each other, what happens during the process? Collision will take place. Collision between the molecules of the reactant. When the reactants are taken in gaseous form, this collision theory especially applies to gaseous reactants. When gas is taken in the in a vessel or reaction vessel, what happens? The molecules will have sufficient space to move here and there. When they move here and there, they will collide with each other, and that collision will be fruitful if they have sufficient energy. Means during the collision, they may exchange the energy, and if energy of a particular molecule will increase much, then that will be converted into product. Otherwise, no product will form. So according to collision theory, a reactant molecule collides with another molecule billion times per second. You know that the molecules of reactant will have kinetic energy, and because they are in gaseous state, they will move here and there, so they will collide with each other, and the rate of collision is much higher. they may collide billion times per second. Only those collisions which possess a certain minimum amount of energy, as I told you just now, when collision takes place, the reactant molecule will be converted into product. But there is a condition that only those collisions which possess a certain minimum amount of energy result in chemical reaction. Means to convert the reactant molecule, they must have certain amount of energy so that they are converted into product. Otherwise, no product will form. That minimum energy which a particular molecule may possess this picture shows how the reactants may collide. This is the atoms or molecule of reactant A, and these are the atoms and molecule of B. When they collide with each other, sometimes a product may form and sometimes may not. In this case A, they are colliding but they are not resulting into product, means no product is formed. Whereas here, when they collide, they will form product. Why? Because when they collide, they exchange energy, and if the molecule which is collided have sufficient energy, then only it may be converted into product. So this minimum amount of energy which must be associated with molecules so that their mutual collision result in chemical reaction is called threshold energy. As I told you just now, that they should possess, or the molecules which are colliding must possess minimum amount of energy so that they are converted into product. That energy is called threshold energy. From the following figure or graph, it is clear that at higher temperature, that is T2, the number of molecules with which the minimum required energy which is to be associated with called threshold energy are more than the number of molecules which possess the same energy at lower temperature, that is T1. We have to understand this figure. This figure or graph or curve is obtained when we plot number of molecules versus the energy. Here, this graph are drawn for two different temperatures, T1 and T2, where T2 is greater than T1. Here on y-axis, we have number of molecules. So T1 is lower temperature. You can see the curve is having more peak, and the area in which we have sufficient number of molecules which can be converted into product is less here. When we increase the temperature, this curve shows the curve when T2 is taken and T2 is greater, then the curve get flattened. Means this area is increased. Now the molecules in this area can be converted into product. Means as the curve is more flattened, means the temperature increases, more and more molecules will have higher kinetic energy. As I told you, on the y-axis we have taken number of molecules, on x-axis we have taken energy in the form of kinetic energy. And if kinetic energy is more, then the frequency of collision will be more, and during the process they can exchange the energy, and the number of molecules with high energy will be more in number when temperature is increased. So this area will represent the number of molecules which have more energy. So this is more for T2. From this point to this point, if we have a rectangle, this much means blue color area plus white color area. Whereas when the temperature was lower, that is for T1, this is this much only blue color area. Means molecules of this area only can possess that much energy and can convert into product. This is the reason why the temperature, at lower temperature, rate of reaction is lower or less or lesser than the rate of reaction at higher temperature, that is T2. So always at higher temperature, the rate of reaction will be higher or faster, and at lower temperature, it is slower or less. Now this picture also shows the similar things. Here, this curve is drawn for T1, which is lesser temperature, and here less number of molecules will have energy of activation. What is energy of activation? Energy from this point, that is peak, to this is called activation energy. Here two graphs are again compared. This is for T1 and this is for T2. It is for lower temperature, this is for higher temperature. If you observe these two curves, these are the number of molecules which have this much energy. As the temperature increases, the number of molecules which have more energy are increased. You can see that. So as temperature increases, the graph will become flattened, and more molecule will have higher energy, and more product will form. Therefore, the rate of reaction for a particular reaction will increase with temperature. So this is the effect of temperature, means as the temperature increases, rate of reaction increases. So this curve or the graph will show you this much energy from this point to this point energy, that is called minimum energy needed for reaction, that is EA, and this is the area in which the molecule number of molecules which possess that much energy is enclosed. So this is the energy which is called EA. This point shows the EA or activation energy which a particular molecule should possess, and above this all molecules, here we can consider it as a triangle, blue color plus red color. All molecules will possess EA or minimum amount of energy which can result into product, and this is for T2 temperature or at higher temperature. And blue color represent the number of molecules having that much energy for lower temperature or T1 temperature. So in this way, we can understand as temperature increases, the area increases, means number of molecules possessing EA will increase. During collision, molecules gain energy from the colliding molecules, and when their energy becomes equal to activation energy, they form product. This is also, I explained you just now, that when collision takes place between the molecules of reactant, they exchange energy. Means energy of one molecule can be gained by other molecule. The other molecule will have energy already, it will have or it will possess some energy, and it is gaining some energy again from other molecule, means its energy is increased. In this way, if a molecule is undergoing collisions with many molecules, will be having more energy. It will absorb energy from all those molecules, and it will possess that much energy as we have indicated here. This is the minimum energy needed for a reaction. That means if a molecule will have this much energy called as EA, then it will convert itself into product, or it will form product. So more number of molecules possessing activation energy, more will be the product form. So the activation energy, what is activation energy? It is equal to threshold energy minus actual energy possessed by the molecule. Then what is threshold energy? Threshold energy means the highest energy which may be for a particular reaction. And already some energy is possessed by the molecule. So the extra energy which it needs or it has to acquire is called activation energy. And for this graph, it is this much minimum amount of energy needed for the reaction. In other words, only those molecules which possess EA, means activation energy, can yield product. So you have to remember that to form product, the reactant molecule should possess activation energy. Other molecules also have to acquire that much energy by absorbing extra energy. What happens here during collision? Energy of one particle will or molecule will be absorbed by other. Means it is the other one is losing energy. So it has to again gain the energy from the atmosphere or which is supplied to it, and then whenever its energy become equal to EA, then only it will form product. There is an energy barrier, hence there is an energy barrier which must be crossed over by the reactants to be converted into product. So always there is some energy barrier for reactants which the molecules of reactant has to cross to form the product. So otherwise they will again convert back into reactants. This energy barrier determines the magnitude of threshold energy which reactant molecules must acquire. They can yield product. See the following figure. Now this is the this is the energy of the reactant. Now in this figure we have taken energy on the y-axis, and this is reaction coordinate. So here we can say the energy is not on x-axis, now it is on y-axis. So this much energy from 0 to this much energy is required. Okay, it is called a threshold energy, and actually the reactants is having this much, means the molecule of reactants initially or in the beginning have this much energy, but they have to pass this barrier. This is called energy barrier. This curve peak is called energy barrier. To convert these molecules of reactant into product, these molecules have to cross this barrier. They will cross that barrier only when they have this much extra energy, which is called activation energy or EA. This much energy is called EA. So those molecules only which possess activation energy or energy of activation can cross this barrier and convert themselves into product molecules. Otherwise, they will return back and form reactants again. So during collision, they will gain energy. And this is called heat of reaction, which is the difference in energy of reactants and difference in energy of reactants and product, which is generally given as E product minus E reactant. For reactions like this or of this type, energy of reactant is more and energy of product is less. Therefore, this will be given out, or the reactants will give out the energy to the surrounding. Therefore, it is negative for this, which is generally called as exothermic reaction. Always you remember, if energy of reactant is higher than energy of product, they will give out the energy, or they will release energy that will be taken as negative, and the reaction is called exothermic. And if the case is reverse, means energy of reactant is higher than energy of product, exothermic. If energy of product is higher than the energy of reactant, that is called endothermic. And during the endothermic reaction, energy is absorbed. Now, sometimes you know that catalyst is added to the reaction, which lowers the activation energy and makes the reaction faster, or it increases the order of reaction in this way by decreasing the energy of activation. From the above figure, it is obvious that as the energy of product is less than that of reactants, the reaction is exothermic. As I told you, in this case, reactant molecules possess more energy than the molecules of product. Therefore, they will release some energy during the process, and hence they are called, this is called exothermic reaction. And delta H for this type of reaction is negative. And if the reaction is endothermic, then delta H will be taken as positive because it absorbs the energy. Now, different reactions have different amount of activation energy. Activation energy for all reactions will not be same. It will be different for different reactions. A reaction which has a higher activation energy is slow. Those reactions which have high activation energy or high EA value, those will be slow at ordinary temperatures or at room temperature. While the reaction having lower activation energy proceed at faster rate, that means their rate of reaction will be faster, high at the same temperature at room temperature. Thus, EA is mainly responsible for difference in rate of reaction. So, different reactions proceed at different rate or velocity. Why that difference is there? Because of the difference in EA values of those reactions. If EA is less, then the rate is faster. If EA is high, the rate is slow. Now, how to calculate the activation energy? Arrhenius equation. Calculation of activation energy EA. According to Arrhenius, activation energy of a reaction may be given as, this is the equation which gives you the activation energy. K, which is rate constant, is equal to A e to the power minus EA by RT, where A is constant known as frequency factor. A is called frequency factor and it is constant. EA is activation energy of the reaction, and R is gas constant. T is temperature on absolute scale, means absolute temperature or temperature in Kelvin, and value of E is 2.718. Now, K1 and K2. of a reaction at two different temperatures T1 and T2 are related as follows. Here T is there. T means temperature. If we are calculating or if we are taking two different temperatures T1 and T2, naturally their rates will be different and the value of K will be different. So if T1 temperature we are taking, then the rate constant can be represented by K1, and for T2 it can be K2. Therefore, here K1 and K2 of a reaction at two different temperatures. When temperature is changed, rate of reaction will change. As a result, velocity constant or rate constant will be different. And these two are related like this by an equation which gives you log K1 by K2 is equal to EA by 2.303 R into 1 by T1 minus 1 by T2. Once again, log K1 by K2 is equal to EA by 2.303 R into 1 by T1 minus 1 by T2, where T1 and T2 are the two temperatures. EA is activation energy, R is gas constant, and K1 is rate of reaction at first temperature or lower temperature, and K2 is rate constant at higher temperature or T2. Now, activation energy EA of a reaction can be determined from the above equation, and alternatively it can be evaluated from graph also. This equation helps you to find that, or otherwise EA, that is activation energy, can be calculated or determined from graph, which is plotted between log K and 1 by T. The graph will be like this. And in this graph, log K is taken on y-axis and on x-axis 1 by T. And the graph is a straight line with negative slope. This line will have, or the straight line will have negative slope. Okay, but the slope of this will give you the value of E by 2.303 R. Just now I told you the straight line is like this. It is having negative slope. If the line is like this, then the slope will be positive. For this type of line, it is negative. Hence, slope here is with minus sign, or it is negative. And here log K means K is rate constant. Here it is. And on x-axis we are taking 1 by T. T is temperature. Now slope is equal to minus EA, that is activation energy, divided by 2.303 R. R is gas constant. We are getting a straight line whose slope will be equal to EA by minus 2.303 R, and activation energy from this, if we multiply slope and this value, we will get activation energy. Therefore, activation energy EA will be equal to 2.303 R into slope minus 2.303 R into slope of the straight line. Now, theories of reaction rate. Theories of reaction rate. There are two different theories. First is called collision theory, the other is called transition theory. In collision theory, for some points we have discussed already. In this theory, it is said that as we know that chemical reaction occur only when there is collision between molecules of the reactants. Always you have to remember that when reactants are in gaseous state, the reaction will proceed due to collision between the reactants molecules, or molecules of the reactants. Here Let Na and Nb are the number of moles of reactants of A and B. Since the number of collisions per unit volume is directly proportional to the concentration. As the concentration of molecule increases, number of molecules in the space available or volume will be more. So collision will more, or the frequency of the collision will be more and more product will form. Since the number of collision per unit volume is directly proportional to the concentration, the total number of collisions, that is Z dash per unit volume of the reaction, will be given by Z dash is equal to V into Na into Nb. Here V is volume, Na is number of moles of reactant A, and Nb is number of moles of reactant B. In case each collision result in chemical reaction, then the rate constant of the reaction is given as. If we suppose that every collision result in the product, okay, or it is fruitful collision, then the Kr rate constant is given as Z dash by Na into Nb, and which should be equal to V, because according to this equation Z and V are related like this. So V will give you Z by Na into Nb. Therefore, K is equal to Z dash by Na into Nb, which should be equal to V. Again, a collision which results into formation of product is called fruitful, otherwise it is not fruitful. As we are illustrating the same thing by taking figures A and B. In here, these are the reactant molecule and these are the product molecule. You see, on both sides we have same molecules, means no product is formed. So the collision is not fruitful. Here, the reactants and product molecules are different. Therefore, that gives you an idea that when these reactant molecules are colliding, due to the collision, they are forming product. Means this collision is fruitful. What is a fruitful collision? The molecules will have minimum energy which is required to form product. It is nothing but equal to activation energy. Now the second type of theory which explains about the rate of the reaction is nothing but activated complex theory or transition state theory. It is also called as absolute reaction rate theory. According to this theory, reactant form product through or via an intermediate species, and that intermediate species is called activated complex or transition state of that. Until and unless the reactant form an intermediate compound or intermediate complex or intermediate species, they cannot be converted into product. So that intermediate state is called either activated complex or transition state. Only those activated species which will have that much amount of energy called as E activation will be converted into product. Otherwise, these activated complex will be again turned back into reactants. So according to this theory, the reactant molecules are not directly converted into product, but they are first transformed into an intermediate energy rich activated complex, are also called as transition state, having only a transient existence. The activated complex subsequently breaks to produce the product. So whenever reaction is taking place between the molecules of reactant, these will form first an intermediate compound or intermediate species which will result into product if it possesses sufficient amount of energy, which is the minimum energy required to form product. Otherwise, again, that activated complex or intermediate species or transition state will convert back into reactant. Therefore, between reactants and activated complex, we have two-way arrow. Reactant can produce activated complex, then product, or reactant converting themselves into activated complex, but did not possess sufficient amount of energy, and again they will form or convert back into reactant. No product will be formed in this case. Therefore, there is two-way arrow mark between reactant and activated complex. Now, there is a simple equation and which shows you what is transition state or activated complex. Two molecules of HI which are dissociating into hydrogen and iodine. They will first form this type of activated complex in which all atoms are joined by partial bonds. HI, there will be a partial bond between H and I and I, again H and I, again then H and H, means all four atoms are bonded partially with partial bonds with each other. So when HI molecules are to be converted into H2 and I2, they have to pass through this, and they have to pass that energy barrier also, which is possible only when this intermediate space is called as activated complex or transition state or intermediate. Well, if it possesses EA, that is activation energy, then only a product will form, otherwise it will not form, and they will go back to reactants. Energy of activated complex is higher than both the reactants and products. You have to remember that energy possessed by activated complex is always higher than the reactant and product's energy or energy of reactant or product. It decomposes at a definite rate to form products. Its rate of decomposition will be definite. That the concentration of the activated complex and its decomposition determines the rate of reaction. The concentration and its decomposition determines the rate of reaction. The activation energy of the reaction with reference to this theory defined as the additional energy which is the reactant molecule must acquire to form the intermediate complex. Means some extra energy that molecule has to acquire or absorb from the surrounding to form product, and this is possible only when some collisions will take place between. The activation energy of the back reaction means the additional energy which the product molecule must acquire to form the activated complex. Sometimes back reaction or backward reaction will take place. This is the initial state. This is endothermic type of reaction in which the reactant's energy is less and product's energy is high. So we need to supply the energy. So this difference of energy is nothing but the energy absorbed by the reactants to make product. But whatever be the case, whether it is exothermic or endothermic, these reactants will form intermediate species or transition state or activated complex which has to pass this energy barrier, and this energy barrier will be only those molecules or transition species will pass or cross over which will possess this much energy called as activation energy. So this is compulsory. Otherwise, backward reaction will take place and the rate of backward reaction will be higher. This is for exothermic. This much energy is of reactant, this much is of product. So the difference in energy of reactant from product will be given out, and this is energy of activation. and this much energy will be possessed by activated complex. If it possesses, then only it will form product, otherwise no product will form. So with this, we end the lesson as well as the chapter called as chemical kinetics. So today we have finished chemical kinetics, which is a part of sixth semester chemistry. Thank you. Thank you for watching one and all. Thank you.